What is up, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists, and welcome to On the Beach Repeat, the hobby along, paint along series that you put on in the background whilst you do your hobby or painting, building, whatever it is. Alright, so you just stick me on in the background, about an hour a hobby, depends on how much the video gets edited. And today I'm going to be working on this little model here, this 3D printed. It's actually the entrance steps to Castle Ravenloft, the board game. That's what it was designed for. So I thought I'd just paint it up in my traditional stone effect, basically. Oh, I've got to clear a couple of models off of the bench as I go. That's fine. I've got a lot of models on the bench, but I'm not worried because I dug some of them out, and I've got a lot of paints on the bench. Again, I'm not worried. I dug them out because they need replacing. Because they are dried up, basically. And I'll just take them, probably I'll write them down, take the list with me. Yeah, I'll do that. And I've got my greys ready for the stone effect. Now, Dawnstone, I've got the dry brush version here. Administratum grey, a little bit concerned about. I'm a little bit concerned about it because it's a little bit dry, and I could probably do with a bit of a hand shaking this bad boy. Don't even know if there's anything in it, so I'm just going to try it out on the electronic paint shaker. Sorry, this is going to be loud. I'll try and edit this out if I can. Administratum grey. That's definitely one I'm going to be needing to get a replacement for. But we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Brixati white. And Brixati white. A nice thing on there. I'm going to use that. We're done with using remnants of old paints that are like long past their sort of sell by date. You know what I mean? Right. So with that in mind, that was the lid of my bin falling off. My cat's not impressed. Lucian is not impressed, I'll tell you that. He's like, well, shut up. He's trying to sleep in the corner, so he's not in the best of moods there now. Get my, because this is going to be primarily dry brushing, over brushing, that kind of thing. Got my coffee. Make sure you get yourself set up with a cup of tea, coffee, whatever. And, yeah, let's get to the bench. Right, okay, so that should be okay there. Now, glasses on. This is a 3D printed model for the game board Castle Ravenloft, and it's for the you can get all sorts. You can get walls and whatever else, you know, and that's fine. But this is going to be yeah, it's going to be primarily overbrushing, and we're going to be starting with Mechanicus Standard Grey. I'm going to have a sip of coffee whilst I'm here, because, you know, why not? I hope you guys can hear me alright. Same microphone deal, just a different position. So Mechanicus Standard Grey. Just put that over there for a moment. So, I've had quite a good week. It's not dragged, which is a good start, yeah? It's been very busy, and that's probably why it hasn't dragged. Because non-stop mega madness all the way. Right, just before I continue, I'm using a fairly... I'm doing an overbrush, which is different to a dry brush. It's a little bit more slap-handed, and needs to cover more of an area. So, a softer bristles, not harder bristles like you get with typical dry brushes. So it's going to get some of that on here. Alright. And then we're just going to start applying it. And already starting to look pretty good. Yeah, this is looking good. So I got the Castle Ravenloft board game way back when, because I thought, I can use the components in it, you know, for role playing, and I was surprised at how good a condition the board game I got was in. You know, so I thought, well, I'm not just going to rip out the components to use them for role playing, because they'll get lost that way, won't they? I thought, no, I'll actually use them, and I'll use the game itself, you know. And so that is what I did, basically. So this is my own recipe for stone. I mean, it's one of the easiest effects you can do is basically black and dark greys getting lighter and lighter. So eventually, of course, you get to white. If you want to go that far. Don't go too far though, I should be doing non-metallic metals. Like that. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Microphone on the floor. There, we all good? Looking good still. So I've had to reposition the microphone. Well, that's the mechanical standard grey bit done. And that is fairly straightforward. I do have to let that dry somewhat. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is look at some of the other miniatures I've got. I can't paint the Moria goblins because I want them unpainted for my battle scenario for episode 1 of the Lord of the Rings game, right? So yeah. Okay, so this I could end up painting some of these. I don't know. I could end up putting some basing materials down. Could do that. I don't know. I could just be sorting out some of the paints I've got here. Let's have a look at some of the ones I'm going to be replacing. Stormhouse Silver. I mean, yeah, I think I probably will. Probably will replace that. It has its place. It's kind of replaced Runefang Steel, didn't it, for a time? So that one's kind of still at half okay. I've got a Runefang Steel here as well. Yeah, that probably needs replacing as well. The medium separates from the pigment a lot in these metallics. Bad and black. I mean, that's just out for some reason. Can't remember why. Lead Belcher. Got a few of those bad boys. Not too sure about this particular one. No, he's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've seen worse. And I'm talking about the state of the paint and the state of the lid where it shuts. You get a lot of build-up of dry paints around the Citadel pots these days. Yeah, so that's not too bad. Blood for the Blood God, however, I think is a different story. Yeah, that one looks like a completely different story. In fact, I think that's one I'm going to have to pick up tomorrow, maybe. Let's say I've gone in my local game store then. for the weekend. I like to go in there every weekend, even if it is just to pick up a pot of paint. Something. Feels like I haven't neglected myself, and although rarely I do. It's very, very rare that I do that. Right. There's still some in it, it's just not very much. That's okay. So you might be okay, but I could do with some more though. Balthazar Gold. Now that is a classic. It's like a older gold, isn't it? So sorry, this is mostly me sorting out my paints here, but I am waiting for the Mechanica Standard Grey to dry a bit, which won't take long because it's been overbrushed, and it shouldn't take as long to dry as if you were layering it on. Just in the meantime, if I can sort out something with these paints here, all the better. Still hobby, right? It's still hobby related. I'm still getting my video down. I'm aiming to get this one up for next Friday. I can't remember what the date will be then, but you know. Right, I think that one's not too bad. Then we've got Hut Copper. I don't think I really need Hut Copper. I've got other copper paints in there, I'm sure. But I think I've got quite a bit left in this pot. It's just, yeah, all stuck around the edge, which isn't good. Not good at all. I don't know, they just seem to get that way, don't they? One day you realise that it's happened. So, Iron Warriors. I think this one's alright too. Once I've checked these, we should be good for the next iteration of the stone effect. Oh my. There's a lot of paint build up there. A lot of paint build up. Right. So I'm basically just trying to sort this out from the lid using a barbecue skewer thing. Just one of those wooden skewers. Yeah, sometimes I use a hobby knife, but it cuts through the lid and then the paint dries out, and you know, it doesn't end well. Right, however, I think I am going to leave that there for now because the lid shuts quite well. I've seen worse. Right, so that's those paints. I've gone through them. I'm going to order a few, and I'm going to leave a couple, so that's good. Right, so the next paint on the stairwell, the entrance to Castle Ravenloft, will be dry stone. I'm using a dry paint for that. I think at this stage I'm still going to use a bigger brush, yeah, to go around here. Yeah, you really got to shake these ones hard. That's okay, that's okay. Dry dawnstone, that's it. So slightly lighter. And slightly lighter on the application. Yeah, so we're just going around here. Yeah, Dawn Stone. It's going on all right, I think. Yeah. It's a nice, easy one to do. This is pretty nice, pretty sweet. That's Dawnstone. I mean, the next one is going to be Administratum Grey. And that is going to be maybe a smaller brush. And slightly sturdier. But not too much. Yeah. Right. So that's looking alright actually. And we're 17 minutes in, so that's not too bad. Yeah, next one will be Administratum Grey. I don't think we go Longbeard Grey. I think that's an extra there. I think I might do Prixati White. Yeah, because, you know, why not? Well, I think they will definitely be a smaller brush, smaller dry brush. And that's cool. I'll put that brush back. And I'll get this brush out, which is slightly smaller, slightly sturdier, but not too hard. Yeah, so that's good. And I've just thought of a use and how to get rid of some of the, not get rid of, but move off some of the miniatures on the bench temporarily. I've got a Quality Street tub over there, and I'm going to pop them in there. That's going to be my box of miniatures that need to be finished. As in, they've already been started, but now I'm going to need to finish them. So that's going to be good. Yeah, so I'm going to start putting them into here. And these are all going to be for my like role-playing campaign, my D&D campaign, so they're all good. We've got a lot of good miniatures here, a lot of good ones. We've got like a Lady Galadriel there, which I think is part of the Lord of the Rings freebies that you get with the game, the magazine. So I guess I'll end up with 2 eventually. Right, so this is good. This is good news. Right, so now I'm just popping them over there. Reason being, I'm going to need this space for an unboxing later. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Bit nervous about the state of the Administratum Grey, if I'm honest, but yeah, we'll get through it. The reason this isn't on the beach is because it's still daytime, the sun is shining. Oh no, Administratum Grey, all dried up. Right, have a dilemma, so I'm going to need to come up with a similar grey to Administratum Grey. No, it's not rust grey. So uniform grey, that's similar. That's pretty similar, actually, if I'm honest. Don't know. Let's put a bit in there. Maybe Astronomican grey. How is that? That's dried out as well. In the bin it off. Doesn't help my dilemma though. Dawnstone. Yeah, we got that. Oh, Grey Seer might be one. Yeah, Grey Seer, I think. It's not... Yeah, I don't know about the subtleties of it. But it might work. It might work. Celestra Grey's another one that might work. Get rid of that. Sorry, this is a real mishmash, isn't it, today? God, blimey. I'm going to go with Grey Seer. And the reason is, it is pretty similar to Administratum Grey. I will need to get some Administratum Grey. I meant to go through my paints a long time ago. I was going to make a whole video on it, but I'm just doing it as I go these days. Right. Right then. So Grey Seer. It's lighter. Let's do these. You don't need to put as much on each time. You know, it's less and less and less. So each stage should be quicker and quicker and quicker, yeah? Okay, cool. Job done. Bosh. Right. That's that one done. Oh, we'll be able to manage with the finer ones now. Longbeard Grey and Brixetti White. I used to say Brixetti White. It's Brixetti White if I look at the name. Make sure I'm pronouncing them correctly. And each one you do, because it's lighter and lighter, it'll take less time to dry, you know. You know, whether I put some couple patches of blood on the steps, who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. What do you reckon? A little authenticity. Might even get some grass growing up on the side or something. Yeah, you know. Stratum Grey. I'm annoyed about that. I never would have let that happen in the olden days, you know. Never in a billion years. Right, so what I need now is a slightly smaller brush for dry brushing. Bristles a bit thicker again, or a bit sturdier again. And not like actual proper dry brushing, but you know, they're going to be a little bit more focused here. Okay, Oh, I do hope this sound is coming out alright. Despite the accident earlier, I knocked the microphone off. How stupid was that? Yeah. Right. Let's have my final sip of coffee. And we'll get down to it. Alright. So which Longbeard Grey do I go for? Paint wise. Do I go for that one? Or do I go for that? I'm going for this one because that one's buggered. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any prisoners. Maybe that's what I should call this episode. Take no prisoners. Okay. Well, good starting point with these. I will start on the steps this time. Right, so steps done. Yeah, that's good. That is good. Now I'm going to concentrate on these pillars here. You really don't need much at this stage. Just enough, really, just to show you've done something. And looking at the way this model's been put together, I appreciate that someone's done this on a 3D printer for me. A lot of layers there, a lot of layers. It's far too much for me to get a 3D printer. I mean, I'd love one, but I just don't have the space. Not economic spatially for me. Right. Getting rid of a load of stuff here. So that's what it's looking like so far. Yeah, Black White will be probably the last layer of stone effect I do on this. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to put some blood around. Maybe on there. A little bit of grass growing and some cracks here and there. That'd be quite fun, I think. That's always quite a good thing to do. I quite like doing that, if I'm honest. And this is more a bit of a terrain piece than anything, isn't it? I mean, we could put like Aragorn there to give it scale. So he's 28mm. You know, you could place him on each step. You could do that. Quite easily do that. And then he goes. Round ones, goblins. Yeah, you could even place them on if you're careful. You could do it. These round bases, you know, it's doable. It's doable. Right. Okay. I'm gonna let it dry a little longer, just a little longer, folks, because otherwise, you know, Might smudge or smear. I'm in a dilemma. I think in Praxetti White I'll still use this brush, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm going to use it. Praxetti White. This is where you wish you had like a blue cloth you was wiping out your brushes on now. Okay. I'm going to do the tops of the turrets here. So they're done. And these inner bits. Good, it's all good. Keep brushing the back of your hand. Oh yeah. This is coming on alright. This is coming on alright. And here we go, folks. Instant stone effect. If you do these things, and you know you're going to be using blood or grass or what have you, you can always use that to cover up any areas that you think might be, I don't know, not mistakes as such, but could look better, you know. Things like that. So I'm gonna open blood for the blood god. Actually, less is more when it comes to things like blood, and that's true. I know that for an absolute fact. Stick a couple bits of blood around here. Looks like someone's been dragged down the steps there. Yeah, that's enough. Leave that as is. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there a second while I look for something. So, there you go. Just looking for something. Does mean I'll take things down. Ugh. Gosh darn it. Right. Okay. Okay. Box there for that. Some glue. Now this is something I enjoy doing a lot, as it happens. So I'll put the grass to one side for a moment. Wash off this blood for the blood god malarkey. It's a dry brush. I need a small pointed brush that's not brilliant. Something like this. Right, and now what I'm going to do, I'll turn that around, sorry, let's try and open the lid. This is of course PVA glue. Now what I want to do is imagine where I want the grass to be growing. So I'm just doing some squiggly lines. There, you see. Maybe, just maybe, sprinkle them on bits at a time. So then what you end up with is something that looks a bit like that. See on your right there, on the grass. So I'm going to keep doing just a little bit. So we need just a little bit of grass. Flock. For anybody that doesn't know, it's called flock. Fake grass. Yeah, I think the grass will grow. So I'm just putting in the patterns. Here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty damn effective, if you ask my opinion. I'm gonna have to pop some, say from there, go. Just a couple of little areas now. This is good. I really enjoy this stage. Really does make a huge difference, in my opinion. Just leave that there. There. That, my friends, is what I call a job well done. Now, bear in mind, I started this session with just a primed set of stairs. And what I've ended up with is a completed set of stairs. So, let's put that out of the way a moment, I'll clean up later. Let's just zoom in slightly here. So this is what we got now. That's all the work we've done today. Yeah. Castle Ravenloft entrance, the starting area on Castle Ravenloft. This is what this is. Yeah, it's going to make for a really atmospheric, cool, you know, cool piece. I just love it. Alright, so there we go. That's that. Now what are we on? 43 minutes. I can just leave that there. I'm just going to pop the stuff back again that I was using. Because it's quite handy dandy. Actually, I'll pop my flock. Actually, I won't. I would have popped my flock in there, but I won't because too full up. But that's fine. That's fine. Can put it there. No problem. No problem. What have we got here? Oh dear, oh dear. Alright. I'll be with you in a moment. Just putting some stuff away. It's never ending, isn't it? Right. Right, my friends. Oh, hang on. Just put that there. Yeah, so I didn't get many figures painted this session, but did do that, which I wanted to do. So I'm just gonna wash off this. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to wash my brush in soap. There we go. Because it's had PVA glue on it. Then I'm going to have to throw away that water, change it out. There we go. There. Put that there. Looking around. The other day I was cleaning or sorting stuff out in here, and doesn't look like I've done a thing now. Anyway. Glasses off. I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Back to me. Yeah. It's starting to get darker. I'm starting to lose the light. It's not dark. It's just the light's going now. So it doesn't feel so much like on the beach. It's starting to feel more like on the bench now. But it's an on the beach because the sun was streaming through to begin with. Like I say, I am chuffed with that. Done that in this one session. Less than an hour. It's a nice 3D printed bit of kit, that. I'm really impressed with it. I might look at some other ones. I'll see Yeah, the seller. I'll see if he's got any other Ravenloft stuff that I could use or utilize. I mean, let's be honest. You could use that for any dungeon entrance, couldn't you? Be fantastic. That would just be brilliant, wouldn't it? That. I just love the way it's all done there. Yeah, really, really good. So this is a bit of a shorter one. Apologies for that. And apologies, I didn't really talk about my life, whatever's going on in my life. I did cover that in a chill with Pete that I did last week. So yeah, and I only filmed it yesterday, so that kind of covers this week really. Whereas this is to be put up in advance, as it were, because I like to have a paint along video every week. So yeah, so all that remains for me to do is say thanks for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. Please can you give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. I humbly ask you to do that. And yeah, just I'll see you out there on another video perhaps. And yeah, remember, all brushes lead to all. See you on another video. Bye for now. Bye bye.